I welcome everyone. Steve Page again here from Top Agent Referral LUMALLIE Team Training with Viva Purpose, of course. So I'm excited. Another great episode tonight. Today we're going to talk about it's a business. Okay. Of course, it's me, Steve Page, and this is episode 12. Can you believe it? 12 episodes already. So Top Agent Referral and LUMALLIE, it's a business. So this is a thing that when people join and become a member, a lot of times they forget to treat their business as a business. Okay, so number one, it is not a job, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. It's better than a traditional business, and it's an amazing opportunity. So these are three things to consider. It's not a job, it's better than a traditional business, and it's an amazing opportunity. So let's take a look at this. It's not a job. So a job makes you punch a clock. Fortunately, with this, you can work flexible hours whenever you want. A job allows someone else to determine your worth. And so oftentimes how much you make is determined by uh, what they're willing to pay you. And in this situation, you can make as much money as you want by doing as many transactions as you want. And so it gives you unlimited income potential, which is a little bit different than most jobs. A job usually builds someone else's dream, unless it's a government job, something like that, or a nonprofit. And sometimes your dream might be working with kids, and being a teacher might be something cool. But in most cases, people are working for a company that's building someone else's dream and not really their own. It's better than a traditional business, and this is where I really want to focus, because people see this opportunity and they get involved in it, and they think of it, sometimes even if they do think of it as a business, they don't really understand what they truly have when it comes to this opportunity in this business. There is an extremely low overhead. Now, I have opened many different businesses. Some are virtual, some are brick and mortar. The brick and mortars, the ones where you have your building, you have to worry about supply chain management. You have to worry about the building itself, and all of the infrastructure there, the plumbing, the electrical, all that stuff. If you own the building, it's even more so. But even if you're renting it, you got to make sure that everything stays up and running, right? And so there's that. As far as like an online business or a virtual business, you have to worry about your website, your web creation. You have to make sure that everything's up and running and stays working. You have to handle all of the security measures and all of those updates as well. There's a lot of stuff that goes into a business. In this opportunity, there is a very, very low overhead. You pay 20 bucks a month, essentially. That's if you don't take the discount and pay that 2-year subscription. You've got a very, very low overhead, an initial investment that's extremely low, and then a very low overhead going forward. Extremely low risk. Even if you choose not to continue with this business, even if you stopped, you would only be out a couple $100s, where compared to another traditional business, you would be out thousands, if not millions of dollars, depending on what the business was. You would be out a ton of money, right? So this business, extremely low. Limited skills needed. Compared to most businesses, you don't need to know a lot of, you don't need to know like accounting, in most cases, until you really start making a lot of money. You don't need to know supply chain management. You don't need to know a lot of different things. And so the skills required to get started in this business are very, very minimal. However, we will train you and we will teach you the skills that you need, the sales skills you need, the conversation skills, the people skills, the mentoring skills. We train on that stuff. So, and then let's get into, it's an amazing opportunity. So this opportunity is not like most. Once again, I touched on this earlier. You have flexible hours. If you were to go with a traditional business, you would be spending all of your time trying to get the business up and rocking, trying to develop new marketing materials and all kinds of different things. There's flexible hours here. You can work when you want, as much as you want. Flexible location. Most other businesses do not allow you to be able to work all around the world, anywhere you go with internet connection. So flexible location is amazing about this opportunity. The skills training. So I mentioned this earlier. In a traditional business, you need to know what you're doing going in, or else your business will fail. There's very little bit that you can learn kind of on the fly as you go. You need to know right up front. This business, we train you to be successful. We give you the skills you need before you need it. We give you the scripts to be able to start talking to people. We give you the marketing campaigns to be able to reach out to people, different ad copy, different things like that. And so the skills You don't need to be an ad copy expert. You don't need to be a web developer. The website's built for you. And so a lot of those skills are taken out or trained in the process. Direct mentorship. This is another thing that if you tried to do your own business, you are going to have to go try and find somebody to speak to you. And then you have to try and find somebody in your genre, in your niche, that's going to be able to speak to your type of issues. In this, you have all kinds of people that are ready to help you succeed and speak directly to what you're doing. And so that's one of the amazing things about this opportunity is you get direct mentorship. And so those are just a couple of things. A lot of these things you've already experienced. This is why you joined the business. I just like to remind people, because a lot of times they don't treat this like a business, and that's the whole point of this. Is it is a business, and you need to treat it like a business. And so I'm going to get real with you. I'm going to start talking to you about some of the things that you need to do to really make this work. And so let's talk about this. The cost of success. It is a business, as I mentioned, and in order to be successful in your business, there is a cost. Okay, so first off, businesses take investment. Okay, they take investment. They take an investment of time. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, if you don't spend any time growing it, any time developing it, any time trying to find customers and clients, and in this case, anytime trying to find other team members, it will not grow. It will not be successful. It will not generate revenue unless you take the time and put the time into it. Now, one of the things we really push and we really show and promote is the passive income. And passive income is amazing, but it's not just going to fall in your lap. You have to go develop those relationships. You have to go develop your team and grow your team in order to get that passive income. It's not just going to come to you. You got to build your team and develop your team and train your team before it's going to be able to just start producing that passive income. It does take some time. Businesses take money. So you've already invested some money to get this going. Now, it may take some additional money. Obviously, you have your monthly subscription, unless you pay for the subscription in advance, in which case that's also going to be renewed in a year or two if you just signed up for the year or two package. But even at the monthly, you have to continue to put money into your business. It may take money in the form of going out and buying somebody lunch to go ahead and share the opportunity with them, buying them a cup of coffee. It may take buying some business cards or spending a little bit of money on flyers or marketing material, things like that, paying for some ads. So there is some money that you may need to put into this in addition. Now, you don't have to, there's free marketing and things like that, but businesses do take money just to be able to maintain your membership. As a LUMALLIE member takes a little bit of money. It's a tiny, tiny amount compared to businesses in general, but it is going to take money to run a business. That's just part of business. It takes money to make money. Businesses require action, and this one is huge. This is probably the biggest point of this whole presentation is businesses take action. If you aren't taking any action, if you're not investing your effort in taking action to build your business, to find clients, find people to help connect with buyers and sellers with agents, finding people to join your team, if you're not taking any action, your business will not succeed. Businesses require action. There's no way around it. And businesses require develop. You got to get better. You got to get better at what you're doing. You got to develop your sales skills. You got to develop your personal skills. You got to develop your leadership skills. You got to develop your presentation. You got to develop all these types of things. Maybe it's changing the way you think. So personal development is a huge part of any business, but especially even in this one. Get better at being able to relate to people. Get better at being able to share the opportunity with people. Get better at being able to recognize the needs for buyers and sellers and being able to express that need to them and share with them how you can connect them with the absolute best agents for their specific transaction. So requires development. If you talk to any of the Fortune 500 CEOs or CFOs or anybody in charge of any of the major corporations, they are constantly developing personally. They never stop learning. They never stop reading things. They never stop looking into things. Now, I want to take that step back. I put action before the development because this goes back to you can learn all day long, but until you start putting it into action, it's not going to matter. You'd be better off taking action with no knowledge than having all the knowledge in the world and not applying it to anything. Okay, so take action. You have a better chance of finding a buyer or seller by just talking to people than learning about the best sales pitch ever, right? So first take action, but also personal development. Don't stop where you're at. Always look for ways to get better. Maybe it's not even in your sales part. Maybe it's in how to manage your wealth, your finances, so you can continue to handle that incoming money better. Maybe it's in, finding new ways to help people. So personal development is huge, and I'm big on that. So more, so how much do you invest? Okay, personally, this is a question for you. I want you to take some stock right now. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write this down, or put it in your phone, or however you take notes. How much do you invest? I want you to be real. Take stock right now. How much time are you investing in this business, in the top agent referral LUMALLIE business? How much time are you putting in each day, each week, each month? And I want you to be real about that. How much time? How much money have you invested into your business? And compare that with if you were to open any other business. You are not buying products, you're not buying supplies, you're not buying paying for a light bill, you're not doing any of that. So what are you doing? Maybe it's in investing in some nice clothes so you can go look professional when you talk to people. Maybe it's investing in business cards or something like that. I'm not telling you you have to spend money, but I'm just saying maybe you need to be prepared to, and at least appreciate the minimal amount of money that it takes for this business. But if you're not investing any money in the business, maybe that's in books to get better at public speaking, at reaching people where they're at, different things like that. What action are you taking? And this does kind of come back up to that, how much time are you investing in the company, but what action are you taking? Are you making the phone calls? Are you going out and meeting people? Are you shaking hands? Are you presenting the business? Are you learning how better to promote the business? Are you learning more about the service we offer or about the business opportunity? What action are you taking? And how are you developing? What are you doing to learn new skills, to improve your personal status right now, as far as how well you do your business, how well you handle your business? Maybe it's time management, maybe it's any number of things that it could be. So how are you developing? And I love this little attitude menu over here. It talks about how nothing's free as far as the positive things. You want the free things: laziness, giving up, defeat, failure, and conformism are all free. So if you want those, that's free. They aren't going to cost you anything. But if you want dedication, if you want success, if you want accomplishments, if you want determination, effort, talent, all of those things are creativity, imagination. Those things all take an investment. They have a cost, whether it's time or money. It's going to cost you something. And so IPA, income producing activities. Luke and I talk about this quite a bit. Income producing activities. So just this is pretty clear in the title there, but there's a lot of things when you're working on a business that you have to do, but that are not income producing. And so you really need to separate and make sure that you are taking care of income producing activities. Checking reports, or analyzing data. That does not directly produce income. Now, it's a good way to refine your strategies, or um, you know, take a better direction, things like that. But it does not directly generate income. And so this would be, paying payroll. That doesn't generate income. So this is income producing activity. So what are some income producing activities, IPA, for you to work on this week, every week, anytime? Call everyone you know. Call everyone you know. And this goes back to the same thing we talk about very repetitively, but asking them about additional income. When it comes to adding income to your household, are you keeping your options open, or any number variation of that line of, are you interested in making a little side money around your current work schedule? Anything like that, additional money. Ask them about the business. And then who do you know? Who do you know who's buying or selling a home right now? Are you in the market to buy or sell a home? Who do you know who's in the market to buy or sell a home? Ask people. If you don't ask, they're not going to tell you. They just won't. You can't just wait for Jim and Sally to say, "Hey, Steve, I've been looking for you because I know somebody who wants to buy or sell a home." It's not going to happen unless you are constantly asking them, "Who do you know who's looking to buy or sell a home? Who do you know who's in the market for a new home?" All right. So call everyone you know and ask them at least one of those two questions. Number two, if you've already called everyone you know, which I seriously doubt you have, especially not every week and not every month, meet new people. Be social. Find a way to get out and interact with people. Now, I don't care if it's the barista at the coffee shop, the guy at the ticket counter at the movies, the waitress at the restaurant, or just maybe you're at the bar or the club, or maybe you're in a bowling league. I don't know, soccer moms on the sidelines. Well, it's not soccer season, but whatever. Be social. Get out and talk to people, meet new people, and add new contacts to start talking to. So be social. This is a social business. It is network marketing. You got to have the network part. A network can't happen if you're all by yourself in Siberia, remote. So be social, and it doesn't have to necessarily be in person. Maybe it's in chat rooms. Maybe it's online somehow. But obviously, face to face is better. But be social and find new people, meet new people. The last one here, income producing activity. This is the big one, actually. This is the home run. I saved this one for last. Set up home meetings or webinars. Now, one thing I want to mention on this, we've been talking about these home meetings and these webinars. The training is in the back office. It's on the Facebook page. There's a video you can show for your home meetings, and you pause it and you print out the form with their contacts and you share that. It's a great way to do things. Webinars are also very good, especially for remote people. If you live in an area where there's only a few people in your town, but you know a lot of people around the country, put on a webinar. If you don't know how to present a webinar, get with your upline, get with your sponsor, and have someone present one for you. But the big thing with this one is set it up, schedule it. If no one shows up, no one shows up. But if you never schedule it, I guarantee you no one's going to show up. I can guarantee you'll have 0 people show up for your home meeting or your webinar if it's never scheduled. However, if you schedule it, you might be surprised how many people you get to attend, how many people you get to join your team, how many people you get to use you as a client. So that's the other thing. Set up those home meetings, set up those webinars. That is the number one income producing activity, the most powerful of those income producing activities. However, to set up your home meeting, you're probably going to have to start calling everyone you know too. So those kind of go together. Huge income producing activities that you should be taking care of as often as possible. All right, so that wraps up my training for this week. Pretty short and sweet and to the point, but this is a business. This is a great opportunity. You need to make sure you're treating it as a business. You need to make sure you're following through and taking action, and you're also developing yourself and getting better at what you do. So I'd like to open it up to questions and discussion. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know you watched the video. Give me your thoughts, your feedback. Also, any questions you may have. Let me know what income producing activities you're taking to help grow your business and develop it out. And before I get to taking questions here, once again, Top Agent Referral and LUMALLIE, be sure to follow up with your sponsor. If I'm not your direct sponsor, talk to your direct sponsor. Let them know that you watched the video, you gave them your thoughts, and also just how you're doing in the business. Make sure you ask them any questions you have. Be sure to follow up with them. Thanks for being on the webinar, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a great week and get out there and produce some income.